All right, today we're still working our fast food. I've had a lot of people ask on putting on cheese and bending it so it's like melting around the hamburger. So today we're going to bend the cheese. We're going to start a new part. I'm going to draw the cheese from the top. I'm going to draw a rectangle. Remember, I'm going to do this one where I start in the center. Makes it easier to align. I'm going to make my cheese 4 inches square. Finish my sketch. Let's extrude that, give it some thickness. I don't think it's a 1 inch thick piece of cheese, maybe 0.1 inch. That looks pretty good. All right, so there's my cheese. Kind of a crazy color. Let's learn how to color this stuff. Remember, if we click the edge, and then the cheese is kind of orangey color. Oof, some scary looking cheese, but good enough. So now we need to bend the cheese. So we've got to put a line where we can bend the cheese on. So we're going to make a new sketch. Okay, and you just make a line. So we don't know exactly where. If you want to put something that tells you where your hamburger is going to be, okay, so the first thing we want to do, let's go make a circle. Okay, and I'm going to make this circle. It's just going to be a guide circle. So I'm going to make a construction line. And I'm going to make that 4 inches because that's what I made my hamburger patty, I believe. And that's just going to be a guide. So now I'm going to go back to my line. I don't want a construction. I want an actual line here. And I want my cheese to bend kind of right across there. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 45 degrees. But I want it to bend kind of where the hamburger's at. So I'm just going to put it across here. Okay, then we're going to finish that sketch. And now you're going to go under this middle part and click Modify. And there's Bend Part. So you have to click the drop down under the Modify section. Click Bend Part. Your bend line is the line you just drew. And woof, that's got some bend to it. Okay, so we have to decide how we want to bend it. Right, so instead of bending the whole cheese, we're bending the corner. And we want to bend it the other direction. And some of this you just have to play with. Right, so we look at it. It's bent a little bit. Maybe we want to bend more. So I don't even know. We don't use bend very often, so let's just play with it and see what happens. What if we go to 120 degrees? Looks like it bent more, right? So maybe we want it to be like 150 degrees. Still no, let's go to 200 degrees. It doesn't seem to be doing much. Let's go to 300 degrees. It's not doing a whole lot at all, so maybe we should try something else. Maybe we should change our radius. So let's go back to 180. And make our radius, instead of 1 inch, let's make it 0.5 and see what happens. Ah, look there, that's what we need to do, is the radius. So it looks pretty good. So we're going to say okay, and now we have some bent cheese. And so you can do that to all the corners, and you can bend them all different and do whatever you want. And there you go, that's bending cheese.